We just do what I've always done, which is produce interesting ideas, whatever format that takes. And for me, the format is almost always, in terms of engaging the broadest possible audience, it's almost always outdoors. It's almost always free, it's almost always disruptive of everyday life, and it always has an artist at the centre. So not us, because we're producers and facilitators, but some bit of imagination that is somebody's idea that we're trying to make happen, whether we amplify the original idea or enhance it or do something. And there are artists who like that, and there are definitely some who don't. So yeah, somebody said to me once, I feel I've been artichoked, which was not a compliment. I'm not so interested in, you know, the whole VR, AR revolution. I think that that's fine, but not for us. I think that we're sort of dinosaurs in a way. We're super analog in a digital world, and I'm really interested in people being able to touch the person next to them and share public space in a way that they would never normally do. And, you know, that thing about in a world of the screen, you can go anywhere and you can see anything and you can be friends with anybody, but you can't actually feel anything, it seems to me. And so our work is always about creating a live moment that if you miss it, you've missed it. You can see it on a screen, but it's not the same. Yeah. So when we did the elephant all those years ago, the comment that was most frequently made, and I thought was really interesting, was, they're so real. They so weren't real. They were so not real. They were made of steel and timber and pneumatic and hydraulics and all that kind of stuff. But there was a kind of magical suspension of disbelief that allowed people to think that this 24-foot-high girl and this massive 3-story high elephant were somehow there. And it was because they were present. It wasn't that they were real. It was that you could smell them. Our job, self-appointed, and thus irritating, is to interrupt the routines of the city and to say that a city isn't just a machine for getting people to work and back and to school and back, and that actually those moments when a city comes alive in a completely different way have real significance. And that is really, you know, I spend half my life, working life, talking to artists about what they want to see happen, and half my working life working with agencies and authorities and people you can't imagine who come out of the woodwork to say, but you can't do that there. Mm. And the truth is you always can, because what everyone forgets is that the rules by which we live our lives and the way in which a city works, those rules are invented by us, for us, and we can change them if we want to. So there's no reason to say that Piccadilly has to be a place dominated by shopping and traffic. It's just that that's what we've all kind of come used to. And if for 4 nights in a year that isn't the case, that's not, you know, that's not life-threatening or illegal. It's just different. And part of our job is to persuade people who I completely understand are working to try and make the city as efficient a machine as possible, that they don't need to, and that nobody will mind. That's always the thing, that when you're dealing with those agencies, you suddenly encounter not a prejudice in the agency against what you're doing, but individual anxiety about taking responsibility for doing something different. So those individuals that you're negotiating with are themselves frightened very often that if they were to say yes to you, somebody else would be cross with them, or they'd lose their job, or the public would complain, or something. So part of the job is to take that anxiety away, to say that, you know, it's our responsibility, our anxiety, and that they're not exposed in a way that they feel themselves to be. And then they're liberated to actually enjoy the process of doing something different. And that's the whole way that we work all the time. So we very rarely seek permission. We mostly just say, this event that we're talking about at Lumiere London, it's happening on these days, and we really need you to help us. And then nobody's being asked a question that they can't answer. Because you're saying it's happening. You're not saying, please, can I? You're saying, this is happening now. So, you know, oh, bus planner, I need you to plan the buses so that the whole of central London is free of traffic. And, you know, he might be reluctant to do that, he or she, but they can do it because it's a task within their capacity, as they will do it for Donald Trump or for the marathon or for, you know, any political demonstration or the trooping of the colour, or all the things that we as a community have decided have significance, and therefore everything can be suspended for those things. A royal wedding, a triumphant return of the England team when they win the World Cup. You watch, the streets will shut because everyone thinks it's important. And I think the question for the arts is how to navigate through all of that difficulty to a place where people think it's important enough that the disruption is worth it.